Hello there. Got Marley here to help with a gait-focused class that's really going to tie together some breathing concepts, some standing gait concepts, and then also try to break it open into a little bit of a taste of the world of improvisational movement and how that can plug into mobility training, because I think there is a really important link there. For props today, you're going to only really need a yoga block for the warm-up. You could also use a pillow that you squish up. A couple optional props that might help though is some like a theraband or some physical therapy tubing. We have a super band here of the very small and thin variety. You don't want a lot of resistance, whatever you end up using, but again, it's optional. And then also maybe a little pillow for underneath your head when we're doing some warm up at the beginning. So gather those items, make sure you have some floor space to work in a standing position, because again, we're going to be walking and doing some improv from standing. And then let's go ahead and start up by laying on the ground. And here's where you'll throw that block between your thighs. And if you'd like a pillow underneath your head, you can set that pillow. This really should just help your neck feel a little calmer as we work on breathing. Again, it's optional, but it is a nice one to have. And then from here, the position we're going to be working on is called Hooklying, which really just refers to your lower back and your SI joint kind of curling away from the floor. It might not come off the floor, but place your hands on your pelvis and just feel that you can start to curl your tailbone or flex your lowest segments of your spine as if we were going to start peeling your spine up, but we won't. And then just relax that tailbone back down. Now, as you do this, I want you to specifically try to make that motion happen with your hamstrings on this next round. So the backs of your thighs, which should feel active. So sense into your heels, feel the backs of your thighs working, and then start to curl your tailbone and see if you can connect that motion with that contraction. And then if you need to reset your feet to get even a better sense into your hamstrings, sometimes it feels better if your feet are further away from your butt. Sense those feet on the ground, squeeze the block, and then curl that tailbone to find that hook-lying shape with your back. Then from here, reach both arms straight up to the sky or up to the ceiling, and feel that you can really actively reach those arms and stretch your shoulder blades apart. Once you get there, I want you to just start some deep breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth, and give your body a chance to sense into this position. So I'll just walk through some body areas to reference as you continue breathing. Sense into your feet, and especially your heels. Sense into the block and your inner thighs contracting to squeeze that block. Sense into the back of your thighs to feel your hamstrings curling your tailbone away from the ground. Sense into your shoulder blades reaching apart to help you reach your fingertips up a little higher. Keep that going for one more full exhale through your mouth with pursed lips. And then a smooth inhale through your nose. Great, okay? Now relax and stay in this position. Now for our second set of this breathing, we'll do 3 rounds. The second round, I want to just introduce this idea of really engaging your left ab wall. So as we set all this up, if you follow through with a nice strong exhale, your ab wall will just reflexively kick on, and we want to try to then keep that on as you start your inhale. All right, so I'll cue you into that as we try this, but let's start again. Sense into your feet, squeeze the block, curl your tailbone using your legs. Make sure your belly feels soft at this point. And then reach both arms up, stretching those shoulder blades apart. Good. Take a little preparatory inhale so you have some air to work with, and then when you're ready, purse your lips and blow that air out like you're blowing out birthday candles until you're completely empty, and hold that empty feeling. Now, while you're empty, you can feel that left ab wall. Try to keep it on as you slowly breathe in through your nose. If your abs are on and you breathe in, that air is forced into your rib cage, which is really what we're after. And then again, strong exhale to feel that left ab wall again. Keep it on as you slowly inhale into your ribs, especially into the back of your ribs. And another exhale. Good. And when you're really keeping your ab wall on, you will not be able to take a full inhale, a full belly breath, and I don't want you to. So it'll be a full exhale, but not a full inhale each time. One more. Breathing in silently, blowing out long and strong, getting all the air out of your torso, and a final inhale. All right, very nice. For our third set, we're going to do the exact same setup, and then I'm just going to layer on one more cue, which is this idea that when you breathe in, you're expanding your ribs with air, which should actually help your fingers reach a little bit higher. When you breathe out, the muscles that wrap around the side of your rib cage are the only thing that's going to keep your fingers reached up. So in a sense, both the inhale and the exhale are about getting your fingers closer to the ceiling as you sink your spine and head more into the floor. So we get an oppositional motion. All right? So go ahead and let's set up for this final breathing drill, sensing into your feet, squeezing the block between your thighs, curling your tailbone using your hamstrings while your belly is soft, and then reaching those fingertips as far away from the floor as you can. Take a little breath in to start, and then blow that air out to feel the final piece. Feel that left ab wall really engage. Your spine sinks into the floor as you reach your fingers up. And now inhale silently into the back of your body and feel that inflates you to reach a little further. Keep that height with your fingers as you exhale strongly to really find those reaching muscles along the side of your rib cage as well as that ab wall. Keep going. Your lower body is staying still and strong. Your upper body is reaching. That exhale helps you refine that left ab wall every single time. And that inhale is an opportunity to actually put air into the back of your body. It's not always a place that air is ready to go. So we really want to introduce that option today. Final inhale. Trying to send air into the floor as your fingers reach the ceiling. And relax. Nice job. Okay, now staying here, I want you to adjust the block into a wider position. So it might be one set wider, or it could even be onto its sort of side position, just so that you now feel a little bit more ability to squeeze the knees inward. And then we're going to work on actually articulating your spine from here. So you can do anything you'd like with your arms, but the motion is going to be from the bottom of your spine traveling up the floor towards your neck. Feel your feet, squeeze the block, start to curl your tailbone, but then let that continue as a wave up your spine. So you're peeling your spine away from the ground, trying to find as much butt squeeze as you can, keeping the block squeezed, and lifting your hips up now as high as you can without losing the squeeze on the block. And then keep your hips lifted as we place the spinal column back down on the mat, one vertebrae at a time. Now feeling free to use the front of your body as well as the back of your body, okay? Keep going like this, moving at your own pace, and just realizing that your body is looking for ways to go faster, skip over the hard parts or the blind spots in your back, and generally make the drill easier. So you need to spend some energy and effort as you keep going to really go slow through the challenging spots, to really feel and sense into those parts of your spine that might not be quite ready or able to flex, but you're feeling into that area. And then for the last 15 seconds, can you just turn everything up? Can you get your legs to work a little harder? Can you get your abs to help curl your spine up a little bit more? Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very nice. Okay. Now, kind of funny that for a gait and standing based class, we would warm up almost completely on the floor, but that really can help, again, get some air into the back of your body, which is going to be key here. Let's warm up just one more point, which is your ankles. Super important to connect there. So go ahead, come up to a seated position, and then you're going to wrap up your thigh in whatever version works for you. So you might wrap that right arm around the thigh and grab your hands together, or grab onto your biceps so your free hand is able to monitor your shin. Okay, and then lift that foot off the ground. Feel free to lean back against something, and we're going to do this ankle car starting from gas pedal up and then pushing the toes out to the side. Start to point the toe and then move the foot towards the midline. And as you go through this circle, continuing to draw that circle with the foot, first off, make sure your shin stays still. Marley's doing a great job of this, but the tendency is for that shin guard to rotate side to side along with the foot motion, and we want to create some independence in the ankle. The other spot that likes to play along are the toes, and this is just brutally hard to separate. So as you watch it, see if you can keep those toes right as an extension of your whole foot and not let them do a bunch of clawing or other weird shapes. Good. And pause wherever you're at. Go the other direction here. Really trying to, again, sense into those corners of the motion so you really feel clear contraction to pull you into each and every one of these angles. Good. And 3, 2, 1, and relax. Great. Okay, shake that out. Let's do the other side. Make sure your body is set up comfortably so you have full bandwidth to focus on the ankle and foot. And then lift that foot off the ground, gas pedal up to start, and begin your ankle car. Great. Good. And now, ankles get so much focus on the gas pedal up and the gas pedal down motion, but probably more important, especially during a car, is how much can you really tilt the bottom of your foot side to side, which helps you transition from gas pedal up to gas pedal down. So again, Marley has practiced a lot of these, so she's really attuned to going slow through those side portions. But if these are newer for you, that's probably the spot where your body's going to try to rush through it. So really try to linger and find the contractions on the sides of your ankles to pull you into those tilted positions. Wherever you're at, you can pause and go the other direction. Maybe chasing the cramp monster a little bit, finding those corners that feel a little crampy. Good. Last 10 seconds. Giving this such an important joint a little time in the sun. And relax. Great. Okay, so now from here, I'm going to have you come up to standing, and we'll work on our breath work. So make sure you have room around you to reach your arms. And we're going to start with your right foot forward. Okay, and it could just be a little bit forward. Make sure you're on train tracks and not on a balance beam here so you have a little stability. And then once you have that right foot forward, keep those feet flat on the ground, bend your knees a little bit, but then consciously shift weight onto your left foot, especially feeling into your left heel. Doesn't mean your toes will come off the ground. It just means you want to feel that your center of mass has somehow shifted over to that left side. And then from here, you'll reach your left arm forward and your right arm behind you. And this is where you might start to see that gait pattern where the arms are swinging, the legs are moving in opposition. So your left arm's forward, your right leg is forward, that opposite action. Okay, now again, from here, very important that you feel your left heel on the floor securely. You might also sense into your right arch, not touching the floor, but sensing that area of your body. And then finally, feel how far apart you can get your fingertips forward and back, like they're trying to move away from each other. All right, from here we add that deep breathing. So blow the air out with pursed lips, finding that extra squeeze to reach further, and then keep that reach as you inhale through your nose, trying to feel that air fill up your rib cage. So you're not doing a relaxed belly breath, but really just keep that reach as your main focus. Inhale through the nose, exhale strong and long through the mouth with that pursed lip shape. Keep working on this, 20 more seconds. Knees slightly bent, sensing into your left heel on the ground, and using that inhale to expand your rib cage, to fill up your rib cage. 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. Okay, so many different things you might be feeling here, so just kind of note whatever comes to mind. And now we're going to try a similar breathing drill, but with the other leg forward. So now your left leg's forward, right leg's back, again staying on train tracks. And then this one's a little weird because I again want you to shift your weight onto your left side. You'll still have a little weight maybe on the right leg, but as you shift your weight, you want to try to feel the butt on the left side engage. So yeah, Marley, if you could just give a little self-tactile somewhere on the side of your hip, and you can shift weight back and forth a few times to try to key into that area contracting or turning on. Okay. Then once you're there, I want you to reach your right arm forward, and then you'll draw your left elbow back. Okay, this is really a setup to allow us for the band, which we'll get in there in a second. But if you're not using the band, it works just as well to really think of your fingertips reaching one way with the right hand, the elbow on the left arm reaching the opposite way. So those are the points you're trying to really extend behind you while your knees are slightly bent and your left heel is sensed into the floor. Okay, I'll set you up into that again with the band, and we'll do this set together. So you'll wrap that band around your right hand, and then just hold on to a single strand with the left hand if you're using one of these bands, or just stretch out that theraband. Good? Okay, and then from here, shift your weight onto your left side, sense into that left heel and your right arch. Good? And then take a preparatory inhale. On that exhale, stretch that band out as you reach your elbow behind and reach your arm forward, keeping your gaze right in line with that right hand. On your inhale, silently breathe in through your nose, calmly inflating your rib cage. And then that exhale every time, long and strong, to feel the contraction in your torso. Keep working on this. Maybe sensing a stretch across the right hip. Again, sensing that left glute, that left ab wall. And all of that starts with sensing your left heel on the floor, stable and strong, rooted down. Good, one more breath cycle. Good. And then let that go. And you can set the band down for now. I'm going to have you do our one more drill, which is from the floor, and you can lay down again on your back. Now from here, you're probably going to not want the pillow, so you can just chuck that off to the side. Yep. And laying down now flat on the ground, we're going to be working on a hip extension drill with your foot on the floor. So let's go ahead and show with the left foot on the ground first. So you're going to hug your right leg into your body. Okay. Then once you're here, you want to really make sure you keep that right leg hugged. It will maybe try to run away from you, so you want to keep it hugged in tight. Sense into that left foot really nice and strong. And then for the first rep, go slow here to feel that you're pushing the floor away with that left leg and driving your hips up towards the sky as high as you can. Good. And then back down. Now I want Marley to show a crappy rep for a second, which really means you end up rolling off to the right. So you start to lift your hips and you roll over to the right side. That is not what we want, okay? So if that happened to you on this next round, just really make sure your center of mass is over that left leg so it feels like this is the center of your kind of body weight. So brace and then drive that left foot into the ground, going straight up. Good. When you reach your maximum height, stay on tension and just drop straight down and then right back up for a few reps here over 30 seconds. Trying to really get in touch with what does hip extension feel like for this left hip? What muscles or area of the body is engaged to lift your hips and push the floor away with your whole left foot? Good. 10 more seconds. Maybe getting a little fatigue or a little burn in the back of the hip. And 3, 2, 1, and relax. Nice. Okay. Set that right foot down, pull the left leg in, and do the same thing on the other side. Just do one prep rep again so you can feel, oh, how does my body want to roll, and can I center my mass over that right leg? Okay. Once you get a feel for this side, brace your body starting on the ground and 30 seconds of reps. Lifting up as high as you can and back down. Feeling that foot make a heavy footprint into the ground and using that footprint to lift your hips as high as possible. Great stuff. 10 seconds. Can you get a little bit more engagement? Can you find a little bit more lift? 3, 2, 1, and relax. Nice. Okay. Let's go ahead and come back up to standing. We're just going to get another set through these breathing drills and the Cook hip lift. So start again with your right foot forward. And once you're there, really sense into your left heel. So it should feel like your left foot has about 80% of your body weight and your right foot has about 20%. That adds up to 100, I think. Okay. And then reach your left arm forward, your right arm back, and feel how you're allowed to let your sternum turn a little bit to the right, okay? But you're not allowed to let your left hip come forward. So only turn that sternum as much as you can without letting the weight shift off of the left leg or the left hip come forward, okay? Good. Now once you're here, take a breath in. Long and strong exhale through pursed lips. Sensing into that left heel to reach your fingers farther away from each other. And then inhale silently through your nose to feel like you're inflating your ribs. If you're real tight through your rib cage, you might not get a full inhale, and that's okay. But every exhale needs to be long and strong. Good. Keep working here. Neck is long and relaxed. Fingers are reaching ever further. And your left heel is the center of things. It's where you're getting your stability from. 10 more seconds. Squeezing every ounce of air out for every exhale. Staying active and reaching as you inhale. And relax. Great stuff, okay? Oftentimes a little bit different on the second return visit. Grab your band if you're using it for this other side. And for this one, your left leg will again be forward, right leg back. Right arm will reach forward, and then left elbow back, okay? That's the basic setup here. Now the key point though is again centering your weight over that left leg. Okay, so as you get set up here, shift your weight a couple times onto that left leg and back so you can feel and connect with that left side butt and that left glute area contracting or turning on. And then maybe a little stretch across the front of the right hip. And same as before, your left hip is back compared to your right hip, and that's what we want. All right, here we go. Big breath in. And then a strong exhale as you're looking right over your right hand, trying to stretch your back elbow back and your front fingers forward even further. Every exhale is long and strong. Every inhale is silent, searching for space in your rib cage. If you breathe in too quick, your body won't allow motion into some of these tighter areas of the rib cage that are available for us in these gait setups. Nice, 15 more seconds. Finding that work, finding that stability. Soft knees. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax it. Great stuff. Okay. I'll take that band and we're going to come down to the floor for our final set of Cook hip lifts. Laying down on your back. Okay. Now one variable to play with is how far away your foot is from your butt, and there's no wrong answer. I will say, since we're trying to train the back of the leg, if your foot is too close, you might not feel like you get a lot of sensation in your hamstring and your glute. If your foot is too far, you might feel like this exercise just became a million times harder. So you got to find that sweet spot where you're still able to get a lift of the hip, but you're really noticing that that lift is happening from the back of your hip and not the top of your thigh. hug that right leg in. Feel that your left foot is the center of your mass, and then drive your hips up away from the ground, taking care to not roll off to the right, and then continue for repetitions here. 30 seconds, trying to really get a nice, strong input for the back of the left hip. Great stuff. And I really think about just pushing that ground away. Like I'm trying to reach my hips for the ceiling, and I'm sending the earth behind me. Good. 10 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good. A little spicy, I hope. Feeling a little contraction and fatigue in the back of the hip. Let's hug that left leg in. Again, make sure you really can feel the back of your leg engage with this angle of your knee, and then drive your hips up. Finding that contraction on the back of the leg, and then slowly lowering before repeating here. 30 seconds of repetitions at your own pace. Keep thinking of driving your right foot down into the floor. It shouldn't feel like you're sliding your shoulders away from your foot, like you're sliding up the floor. You don't want that sense. You want the sense of driving your right foot straight down. Good. Final 10 seconds here. Each rep as high as you can get. Nice. Very good. And relax. Very nice. Okay. Now, make your way up to standing again, but now we're going to start to explore how we can coordinate even when there's a bit of chaos to the movement or a bit of uncontrolled component to the movement. The biggest way that we integrate with this every day is how gravity just kind of takes us for a ride. Our body ends up being very automatic about finding balance, hopefully, but not always. But what we're playing with here is how can we kind of dance with gravity a little bit more easily, less effort, but also in a way that gives us options as we walk through the world. Okay, so a lot to digest there. Let's get moving so you can feel it. So I'm going to have Marley start facing the camera, and you can move with us here. Just reach both arms out in front of you, feet about hip or shoulder width, whatever feels comfortable for you. And then with those hands out in front of you, I want you to imagine that they're just hanging from a very delicate, like fishing line, something very small that's holding your fingers up. And the rest of the arm is just completely relaxed, so it's just hanging there, okay? Then if we released one arm, one hand, that right arm would just swing down and then come right back up to rest on the fishing line that we're imagining, all right? Now let the left arm swing and back up. Good. I want you to keep trying this each time, taking a pause when your arms are back in front of you to let your neck and shoulders do as little as possible, as little as is needed, okay? This also can help you feel that the momentum of your arm swinging back is plenty to get your arm back to the starting position if you just let that swing happen. Good. So just keep trying a few more. As it becomes clearer for you, sense into the rest of your body, and can you let any other tension go that isn't needed? You will need a little bit to stay upright, but we want to let anything extraneous go. How do your feet, ankles, and knees help you with this task? Can you swing any easier for these last couple reps? Good. Okay, and relax, kind of shake it out. Okay, so that's our first idea, is just this sense of falling or letting the arm drop, not forcing it or moving it really independent of gravity, but letting gravity take it. Okay, now we can play with that while adding a little bit of spinal rotation as well. So this time you're going to keep your feet planted on the floor, but just turn to your right and reach those hands forward and back as if you're trying to turn to someone to your right that you're going to give a big hug to. Okay, so your arms are reached out, long, stretching the fingertips apart, and you'll notice here that your arms are pointing in the same line or direction as your feet, okay? And then go slowly, let your arms start to drop as your torso turns forward, and then you can end up with your opposite arm reaching forward and now turning to face to the left. Okay, try another slow one. Let those arms go slow by your sides, and you're back to where we started. Okay, now you can follow along as we keep going because I want you to add the drop sensation of letting your arms drop and then catching them on the other side. Again, letting them drop, catching them on the other side. Keep going like this and just make sure you have a pause each time you catch that position. In that pause, you have a moment to feel, can I reach my fingertips further? Can I soften anywhere else in my body? And does that let me swing more freely over to the other side? Good. Good. Continue on a few more. Now let's start to link them together so that you're not having that pause, but now we just twist and reach as one fluid movement. Good. Again, sense into your ankles and knees here. Is there a way that you can soften there that helps you preserve or conserve a little bit of this swing momentum? Good. Nice. Keep going and now invite a little bit more knee bend and see if that can't help create even more momentum. So you might swing a little faster or reach a little bit further. Good. And now for these last 15 seconds, I want you to turn up the speed. Reach, 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 reach. Softness to help you find that momentum. Just a few more seconds, reaching forward and back. And relax it, shake it out, okay? So just giving you a sense of some dials or some variables that you can control or let go of control sort of through your ankles and knees. Okay, and now one more piece here, and this is going to now connect back to the gait portion. So just feel here how you can step your right foot forward and then touch the floor in front of you with your left heel, and then step that left foot back and touch the floor behind you with your right foot. Okay, so right foot step, left heel, left foot step, right toe. Just keep trying this a few times. Get it in your body. Good. And try to do it, as easily and naturally as possible. That's such a weird thing to cue because it's like, how do you do it without thinking about it? Just try to settle into it. Part of that is let your body be soft and maybe notice how your arms kind of want to swing along with you. So that now, as we add the arm swing, it should feel pretty natural. The key here is that as your right foot steps forward, your left arm will reach forward. As your left heel steps forward, your right arm will reach forward. Okay? If you get that happening, when you step back, you'll find that same counter motion. Good. I'm going to give you just a moment here to work on this. Good. And as you're working on it, continuously trying to feel, can you let go of anything extraneous? Can you find an easier way to do it or maybe a more fun way to do it? A little bit less controlled, but still accomplishing the basic constraints we're after. Letting that arm swing. Good. Okay, now relax here. Okay, so now we're gonna shift a little bit and turn on some music, which can be such a fundamental way to help us coordinate our bodies because we get that beat. And we're gonna do two things with that to start. We'll turn the music on, and I want you to start by finding that same arm swing and twist that we were working on before. So Marley will show it here. Yeah, letting the torso twist, keeping the feet flat. Okay, so you'll get a sense of the rhythm there. And then we'll add in the arm swing, which as you can notice, sort of goes along with that twist, but now just frees the legs to move. Okay? All right, we're gonna turn on the music, so prepare yourself. Alrighty, so set up with your feet shoulder width, let those arms hang by your side, and here we go, trying to move with the music. Sensing into your feet and knees. Good. And now if it feels good to do so, add that step. Finding that counter step. Finding that ease. If you ever get off the beat, you can just bring your feet back to neutral. Good, just a few more. Finding that swing, and then finding that opposite step. Very nice. And relax. Great work. Okay. So now we want to kind of take the constraints off a little bit further and let you start to explore this motion. So really that means start stepping in whatever pattern you want, forward and back. You could even play with walking around your space, but I want you to keep in mind one key, which is that those arms are swinging with the rhythm of the music. So if we're being real specific about it, the beat will line up with your hand going right by your hip. So swing, 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 swing. If you ever get lost, you just bring your feet back to square, find that same twist again, get into the groove of it, and then ask your legs to start moving while you keep that coordination going. All right? Just 1 minute of fun play times here. Get ready. Let that go. Very nice. So this might feel really good, and I encourage you to just keep going, put on some music that you like, that makes you feel something, and then explore this motion. The key part is to let gravity, respect gravity. Let gravity take your arms and swing your arms. So you're not resisting or forcing a movement, but you're really just finding how can you coordinate given the fact of gravity, okay? Super curious to hear how this class feels in your body, or any questions that come to mind. Leave a quick comment or let us know. And thanks again to Marley, a real pro, bringing in some of this motion to you today. And hope to see you soon.